everyone, I'm Maggie, and today I'm going to be reading Chapter 1 of Nicholas, A Massachusetts Tale. Chapter 1. A small brown mouse named Nicholas lived on a farm in the Berkshire Mountains. The mountains were very old, and the farm was old too. Nicholas's family had lived there for many generations, but Nicholas was just a young mouse, so to him, everything about the farm was new. The farm was nestled on a hillside in a valley near Stockbridge, Massachusetts. A river ran through the valley. The farmyard had a red barn that needed painting. The farmer and his wife lived in an old house with a kitchen garden out back. Nicholas and his family lived under the kitchen. On summer evenings, they could hear music wafting up from town. The farmer knew the mouse family lived under his kitchen. His wife saw their paw prints on the kitchen floor many times. She asked the farmer more than once to get a cat to keep the mice in line. He would shrug and tell her they only eat a small amount of food, and everyone needs a place to live. Nicholas, his mother Marilyn called. You leave those ants alone and come in to eat. She stood at their mouse house door, shaking her head. Look at him, Henry. That mouse could go all day without eating. When he's focused on learning about something, she said, shutting the door. Oh, he's all right, Marilyn, his father replied from the kitchen table. At least he's just studying the ants. The excited mouse burst in. Did you know that when one ant finds a source of food, he goes back and describes where it is to the other ants? Then the whole family works to bring it back to their home. Nicholas said, every time I move the crumbs around, the ants find them and lug them back. They're strong, too. I don't know how the littlest ants can carry huge crumbs back home. Nick, wash up like a good mouse before you sit down at the table, his mother said. Son, we have been waiting for you, his father added. You know mealtime is the only chance we have to all sit down together. Sit. Tell us what you've been doing all day. I did everything you asked me this morning. Well, almost everything. I gathered some corn from the farmer's seed bucket, Nicholas said hopefully. He will be planting soon, Nicholas's father Henry said. The seed corn won't be around for much longer. The corn was right where he said it would be, just inside the big barn door. I had to avoid the hens that were trying to get the corn from my paws. Then I noticed the big ant hill up behind the chicken coop. I started watching the ants, and I guess I lost track of time. Yes, you did, said his mother. You were supposed to bring me some sheep's wool to restuff your pillow. I had to use dandelion fluff instead. It won't be as soft, but I guess your ant hill was more important to you. Sorry, Mom. Tomorrow I'll gather enough wool to restuff everyone's pillow, with some leftover to make some batting for your quilt. Let's start with your pillow and we'll see about the rest, his mother chided. Now eat up. The farmer has been sending the sheep to the high pasture. If you want to get any wool, you'll have to have hike tomorrow. His father looked up from his meal. Just remember, Nicholas, stick to your task and don't get sidetracked. The woods run close to the high pasture, and I want you to stay away from them. That stand of trees is part of an old forest that covered the state from here to the ocean. Some of those trees were small when our family first came here many generations ago. They've seen a lot of history pass by under their boughs. Later, while he lay in his bed trying to sleep, Nicholas thought about what his father had said at the dinner table that night. He wondered why his family had moved to these mountains and what it had been like here so many years ago. Was there a clever mouse like me in that family? I wonder what adventures he had and what his life was like, Nicholas thought to himself. He fell asleep dreaming about the wild country long ago and the family that came west to settle it. That was Chapter 1. Tune in again to hear Chapter 2.